Alright, welcome back to another tutorial. In this tutorial, we want to look at how we are able to take in input from the user and make use of it in the program. So far what we have been doing is that we have been assigning what I could call static values to your variable, where we're saying y equal 5, right? But what if we can ask the user to enter a value, and so they can put in whatever value they want, and that value gets assigned to that variable. We can do this using an input statement, and in this video I'm going to show you how you can use an input statement to assign a value to a variable. So let's jump back into it, and this is what I'm saying. So far we were doing this, and let's use a variable called a. We're saying a equal 5, and we're saying b equal, let's say, 6. Those are static assignment, right? So we're assigning a value direct to a variable. Now the user has no way of inputting their value and then having the computer do the processing for them, and that is what I want to show you now. How do we get the computer to ask for a value? All right, to do that we can use let's use num as a variable. So let's say num1, we can ask the user to input, and that's the name of the function, input and tell them whatever prompting statement we want them to see, right? Enter a number, and so the user then gets to type in a number that is assigned to num1. So let's, just for this particular one, let's see what num1 is holding then. So we'll tell it to print num1 and some statement, right? So is the value you entered. Good. So very easy. We're telling input some sort of prompting statement that the user will see. We're telling it to assign that value to the variable called num1, and then we're printing out, just to make sure, whatever you entered as num1, and it's saying is the value you entered. Very simple. So let's run it. Notice it says now enter a number, right? And so it's waiting for you to enter a number. Let's do 12 and press enter. Notice 12 is the value you entered, and the program ends. So it was actually waiting for you to add in an input, and then it takes that input and it converts it and it places it into a variable, which then we can print out. Why don't you go ahead and enter another variable, call your variable num2, and assign another value to it, and ask the user to enter a second number. So to do that, and I won't print this out, I can tell the user that num2, so I'm creating a variable called num2, and I want them to input and tell them enter a second number, and I will have it print num1 is the first value you entered. I'll copy this, and I'll have it print that num2 was the second value you entered, just so we can see that it's storing the values as you enter them, right? So I'll run this. It says enter a number. Say that my number is 45, and press the enter key. Enter a second number, let's say 5, and press the enter key. So it says 45 is the first value you entered, which is true, and 5 is the second value entered. So look at that. We're able to send a value and have the user interact with your program into a variable, and then have that variable output whatever it is holding. And so we're using everything that we learned earlier. right? We're outputting values from variable. We're assigning values to variable using our input statement.